stop multitasking. It's actually hurting you not just mentally but physically as well. It's really damaging to your health. There's plenty of gold standard studies that show this. You have to switch to single tasking, which is something we don't do, so it takes a lot of practice. But it's the one thing, along with meditation, that I would say will optimize every aspect of your life, not just work.
We are here at DFF with Stewart Rogers, managing editor of Grit Daily and co-creator of Badass Summit. Stewart's been talking here at DFF about uncommon approaches to the workday.
Yeah, to optimizing the way that we work. It's super important to me.
So Stewart, tell us why the common methods, why aren't those working?
Well, some of them are, but people have forgotten how to do some of those common things. Writing down your to-do list before you actually, start the next day. So the last thing I do at night is to write down a to-do list, but it's how you optimize that to-do list that's important. We've forgotten how to do it properly. We're also responding to urgent things like notifications all the time, things that actually aren't important, but we've forgotten to prioritize for the important stuff first. So I make a list that's based on important things first. That's the thing that everybody should be doing, but we've forgotten to do that. And then I also order it in terms of the biggest thing first. So the start of my day the next day is the most important and urgent task and the biggest task. And I actually assign t-shirt sizes to all my tasks. Like if it's really big task, then it's extra large. If it's not, then it's extra small.
Does that mean that the most urgent task isn't necessarily the biggest task?
Correct, and the urgent tasks aren't necessarily important. Like, we have to focus on importance first. Like, is it driving to your bottom line? Is it going to help you finish your project? Is it going to allow you to see your family? Because that might be the most important thing in your life. Like, whatever is important to you, do that first. If it's important and urgent, and of course that goes to the top of the list, but the next thing is important, not urgent. What we do as a society is we generally tend to do the things that are just urgent, and that's the wrong approach.
Key suggestions for people living the typical office life be that they're probably not doing right now?
Well, people aren't reconnecting with nature. People aren't getting out into nature and doing things out there, in a park or in the forest or up a mountain or in a desert or whatever is your best version of nature. We tend to sit in the same uninspiring box all the time and expect it to somehow inspire us, and of course it won't. We tend to not meditate because we think meditate is about clearing our minds, but that's impossible. So meditation is very important. Meditation is actually the constant practice of recognizing stimulus as it happens and letting it pass, because everything in life passes. And by doing that regularly, every single day, you'll get into a very mindful place, and what that does is it gives you the ability to apply 100% of your brain power to the one task in front of you. And that's the most important thing, is stop multitasking. It's actually hurting you not just mentally but physically as well. It's really damaging to your health. There's plenty of gold standard studies that show this. You have to switch to single tasking, which is something we don't do, so it takes a lot of practice. But it is the one thing, along with meditation, that I would say will optimize every aspect of your life, not just work.
Leaving our viewers with one kind of hack. If there's one thing for them to do, what would be your suggestion?
Learn how to meditate. Great way to do that is to download Calm. It's the one that has the closest narrative to becoming truly mindful. Get out into nature and reconnect with nature. Take your team out into grab a picnic, take a MiFi box, do some brainstorming out in the park somewhere. It will be the best brainstorming you've ever done. Or work from different locations. Don't sit in the same cubicle. Change your environment. All of these things aid working faster, better, more inspired, more creative, more accurate work, so you don't have to redo it again the next day. And you'll find that, with doing these things, something that used to take 2 hours will now take 30 minutes, and it'll be better than it's ever been before.
Now, you've highlighted in your talk that you work only approximately 3 to 4 hours a day. Do you think that this is possible for other office workers?
Yeah, I think it's possible for a huge number of roles. The roles that it's not possible for, well, the bad news is that AI and robots are probably going to take those roles away anyway. So when it comes to any kind of role that requires a level of intelligence, like office work, working in a startup, administrative work, any of these things, all of the methods I'm talking about will apply to all of those. In terms of menial tasks, they will likely be replaced by AI and robots at some point in any case, and some of those already have been. So, we have to think about the future there, and that future might include things like universal basic income to support those people. But for the rest of us, these methods and practices can help everybody to work better, faster, and have more fun and have more work-life balance.
And so your approach in condensing that workday involves a combination of meditation, a combination of prioritized tasks, and a combination of playing. Can you tell us about the role of play?
Play is incredibly important. We're told to stop being childish when we grow up. Worst advice ever. Please continue to be a child. Have fun, enjoy yourself. It depends which city I'm in, but if I'm in Santa Monica, that might involve diving into the ocean, having a swim. It might involve going to a playground and having a swing on the swing, or painting something or playing a musical instrument or whatever. But enjoy yourself and then work. What's interesting about the way our minds work, our minds are actually quantum machines, we're not computers. The way that our minds work when you're playing, if you've made that task list and prioritized it, your brain is automatically planning the next piece of work. So when you get to it, there's no warm-up time, and it will be the best possible version of that work.
Wrapping things up, how do you structure your day, and how do you know what you'll be doing that next day? Do you have a list? Do you write it down? Is it in your mind? What is your process?
So for me, I make a list. It's on computer because I stopped being analog a long time ago. I do that the night before I go to sleep. Then I wake up, I meditate, I make my bed. It's a small, tiny task, but it makes you feel like you've accomplished something. I have breakfast, I play, and then I do the first task, and that's the important and urgent extra large task. That then gives me a sense of accomplishment and fills my body with all sorts of wonderful chemicals that will just see you through the rest of the day.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your input. We've been here with Stewart Rogers at the Digital Freedom Foundation. Stay tuned for more videos.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos. You'll find everything you need to know on office productivity. And while you're at it, subscribe. We put out new videos every Thursday.